Well, here's the thing about the podcast.
Is it good or bad?
Well, you know what? Nikki and I, while working on the podcast, I've been able to listen back to some of it. And
what have you noticed?
What? Like, what is my problem? Like,
why are you yelling today?
What is my problem? This podcast contains so much yelling.
And you know how sometimes people are like, well, he's yelling with you. No, I don't even know.
I think I'm yelling at people.
You. It might actually be that way.
And here's the other thing I noticed. I'm looking. I've saved 17 things.
There's a lot.
I normally save 12 to 13.
Well, so that's a good thing. You guys get more RIOT today.
I'm not convinced.
More yelling.
And the other thing I actually thought is, like, hearing myself yelling, I was like, I'm going to need a little break from this. I'm going to have to.
Hey, go eat your cake.
Shut
go upstairs.
down.
Get some coffee. Refill that.
I don't think more coffee
is going to help.
More coffee is usually the answer to my problems, but I'm not sure that more coffee
cake will balance that out. It'll
what
be
we're
fine.
looking for today.
You'll be fine.
Holy crap. Well, hey.
Normally, when you start acting like that, I feel like something sickness-wise is coming, but it doesn't feel quite like that today.
No, I just yelled a lot.
Yeah, you're passionate about the show today. That's great.
So, well, you know what? I hope you guys enjoy it. I mean, I didn't do anything differently today, and I don't think I had any more coffee. Did I have 2 cups or 3? I lost count. I'm not sure. Okay, but in today's podcast, here's what you're going to hear. We talk about the Viking Sky, which is crazy. I got some new flat earther stuff that's awesome. We speculate about the whole Apple TV thing. We talk about liquid metal, Nintendo Switches, Marvel movies, Daredevil, Chik-Fil-A sauce, Shazam, adulting, getting arrested for TVs.
You mentioned mannequins, right?
The mannequins thing shows up twice.
Twice? You get both of them?
Oh, yeah. First we find out about someone who's shopping for a mannequin, and then we go mannequin shopping.
You're going to love it all today. What a great podcast.
So I hope that you guys really enjoyed today's podcast. And I feel like I'm crashing, so I'm needing to go take a nap.
Maybe send us a message through RadioU Right on our Facebook page, or text us at 877-2-RADIO-U. Put either good job, way to go for today's podcast, or what's going on.
Is he all right?
That way we can just take a quick survey on what people's thoughts are about today's podcast.
Man.
All right, go get you something now.
I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's the RIOT.
What's worse than finding grounds in your coffee? Finding grounds in your coffee while listening to the RIOT. It's the worst of the RIOT on RadioU.
I'm going to give you 2 words to Google. And if you didn't see any of it this weekend, you have to. You got to Google Viking Sky.
Is that the boat?
Well, it's not the Thor sequel.
Actually, that would work.
Could have been, totally.
Could have been the name for it. But the cruise ship?
Yeah.
The video is like, and if you've seen the video of the cruise ship, it was the one that was, didn't they lose power to the part that keeps the boat more level?
Is that what it was?
I thought that's
I just thought it was the water itself.
No, I think something actually happened to the ship itself. And so they had to airlift a lot of people off this cruise ship. But if you see the video inside the cruise ship, that's one thing. But you need to go look at video of people on land filming this ship, and you can actually get a better feel for how much it was actually rocking.
They said they had engine troubles and a combination of rough waters and high winds. Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly what was wrong with the engine. I didn't hear what you had said about it, that there was some kind of like something that helped maintain its equilibrium or whatever. Like, I didn't hear about that. I'll tell you this, though. Like, terrifying footage where you're like, this is why I'm not getting on a boat.
That's exactly why.
It is nuts. And here's what I love. In some of the footage, like where it's just crazy, you can see people with their feet up just looking at their phones like, well,
there's nothing they can do.
Like, this is just the next wave. It's not like we haven't been at this for hours.
So they had to individually airlift people off, and I think they got through
about 900 people.
And then,
so out of their 16 or 1,300 passengers, 900 were airlifted. Then basically the seas calmed.
And they got to tow the boat in.
Yeah. So
someone's getting all their money back. And then some.
Okay.
The trip's free.
I imagine a refund.
Oh, yeah.
But probably not much more than that. Because here's the other thing. I've really been thinking about this. Like, You gonna sue the ocean?
Who can sue the ocean?
Right, but I mean,
who can sue the wind?
Who can sue the wind?
And I bet when you booked your ticket, you clicked something
I signed a waiver for sure, and you're like, oh, that's not going to happen.
No, but I also was contemplating this a lot yesterday when I saw the footage, and they said the difference between some of the cruise ship things that happen that we normally read about is maybe the crew is not as considerate and sympathetic towards what everybody's going through, but they said that the crew was incredibly helpful and kind and really looking after their welfare. So, I mean, I wouldn't turn around and go sue them, but yet your trip is probably refunded at that point.
I mean,
you didn't get a good trip. You got airlifted off.
I think you get home and you go out to the beach and you just hit the ocean real hard. And I don't mean like, woohoo! I mean like you just smack it around a little bit to let it know how unhappy you are with it. And you hope for a refund. And that's about as good as it's going to get.
Well, it could have been a lot worse. They were lucky to all get off the boat. I mean, again, if you've seen the footage of the Viking cruise ship, that was not good.
I just want to tell you right now, this just solidified some things for me.
Not booking a cruise ship. Yep. What about the river cruises? Remember? It's calmer.
That just feels
river
like dirt.
Cruise.
I'm on a dirty river road.
No, you could take a European river cruise.
No, you know what I want? I want
through the canals.
I basically want whatever the heck those sandals resorts are, but they're not as good. But like, I just want to go somewhere that's like it's an all-inclusive. That's all the boat is anyway. It's an all-inclusive resort on the water, and you're like, because we're on the water, we can eat as much as we want. Maritime law, something, blah blah blah.
So you want that on land?
Yeah.
That would be one of those resorts.
So because I mean, on the cruise boat, what are you going to do? I'm not, despite what the commercials tell you, I'm not going to go on the treadmill. Okay, I'm not going to climb the rock wall. Right? I'm there to eat, swim, and sleep.
That's it.
Boom. I don't even want to gamble. I'm not going down to the casino. Like, I'm just there to be lazy and eat. Did I mention the eating?
I got that part down. I did. I got that.
The Riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. RadioU.
Guys, it's not so much that I'm angry. I'm not angry, okay? I'm not. I'm just disappointed.
In?
The fact that, I mean, I knew coming in there wasn't going to be any cake left.
Oh, there's not from our birthday cake on Friday?
But I thought, like, a hope against hope that maybe there'd just be, like, a little bit.
Someone saved a piece in the fridge or something.
Right, but if they did that, they're probably coming in this morning looking for it.
No, sometimes they just put it away. You might check in there.
I don't know.
Or the cake is gone.
I think it might. I mean, we can check.
It was a big cake.
It was a big cake.
I mean, how did everybody get through that thing?
Listen, Nikki, with as they say about pizza, as long as you have the will and are willing to put in the effort,
then every
pizza is a personal pizza.
All right.
So, we're like, oh, look, it's a cake for everyone. And you're like, or it's a cake for someone.
Well, I still think check the fridge. It might be in there.
Just would have been nice.
Nice if they would have left you something.
It would have been nice. I mean, I know how that happens.
We took some on Friday. Did you enjoy it over the weekend?
I did.
Was it good?
I went to the doctor.
Weekend cake?
And they bled me. And then I went out to the car and I immediately ate a piece of cake.
Well, it was a shame on Friday, since we celebrated RadioU's birthday, we got a big staff birthday cake.
We did.
But Obi had, like, when you get a physical and stuff, they draw your blood, and so you're not supposed to eat until then. And guess what day Obi had his doctor's appointment?
Cake day.
The day of the cake. And we got the cake before the doctor's appointment, so he couldn't eat it.
Yeah, it was great. And when I got done at the doctor, they were like, you know what? We should pull blood out of you more often. So I made my next blood appointment. I'm pretty excited about it.
Now you have to do it more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Hey, wait, though. How did it go?
You know what? We just went ahead. I talked to the nurse when she came in. I was like, all right, butterfly needle. And a lot of times they end up going for the top of my hand. And she goes, that really hurts.
Yeah. We're like, well, yeah.
And I kind of laughed and it was like, yeah.
So, you didn't even try your arm?
Nah.
Oh, but you drank so much water.
I did, but you know what? In fairness, she got the top of my hand and she got it the first time.
Did it hurt as much? Or?
It does hurt.
Yeah.
And this is such a baby thing, but it hurts for a while after. Like, my hand was sore for a while. But you know what? I just thought about your mom, and it was fine.
My mom gets her blood drawn a lot.
She does. So I just was like, you know what? I can do this.
You can manage.
No big deal.
And you got cake, so
and there
really
was cake in the
fine.
car, and it was fine. So, and I did. I drank, before I went in to have my blood drawn, I had 2 cups of coffee and what would have been over 130 ounces of water. And
because
you know what?
They say that might help the blood because you're hydrated.
Yeah, so...
You know what would be great is if somebody just walked out of the doctor's office and you're done and you're in the car and you brought a spoon and you're just eating cake like in there and they're going, I wouldn't mind doing that too.
They're like, hey, can I have some?
I know. It's like, are you done with your appointment too?
Dear Radio U, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
You guys know that one of my new favorite pastimes is reading flat earth stuff, right? Like, just,
why did we talk about that last week? What was the reason?
I can't remember. Something like because there was a bunch of people that they say next year that they are going
Antarctica,
and they're going to break over the edge of the world. And my argument was, yes, do that. Like, that's exactly what you need to do, because if you scientific method, your hypothesis is the earth is flat. You design an experiment to test your theory, and then, you see what the results are, right? Right? So there you go. Like, get to Antarctica. Get disappointed when you come out on the other side.
But get going.
And then you say to yourself, we got lost and went in a circle. You mean like the Earth? No, not that. Like, dang it. I don't know.
But that's why last week we talked about flat Earth stuff again.
Okay, this was awesome. You know what I read over the weekend that I'd never heard? Is that there is a whole religious component where people say that the government lies to us, that the Earth is round, something, because we'll think there's no God if the Earth is a sphere. That doesn't make sense to me, but okay. But then the other one, and this one I love, is that beyond Antarctica, there's a whole other series of continents where the rich live.
Really? I've never heard that one.
I know, it's great, right? So the rich live in these secret continents where the wealth and technology is so far beyond what we have now that they're trying to keep us away from the quote-unquote good stuff.
From discovering that? Mm-hmm. Weird.
Dude, I hope
Who believes that one?
I hope it's true, and I hope they find this rich place, and I want to sneak in. I want to check it out. Do they have flying cars?
I know. Like, is everything good over there?
Like, what do they have over there? Something cool? Like, if they cured cancer? Do they have, freestyles in every house? What's awesome about it? How do I get there?
I still want to meet
They're like, we saw Elysium once. It's real.
I've never met a person who believes a flat earther or anyone who believes a conspiracy as grand as what you've mentioned.
I've never met the guys in House of Heroes, though, and I'll tell you what.
Some of them flirt with that.
Hey, they're right on the edge, dude.
But I've never met someone who's way into. I've only seen them on YouTube for either a video showing how we might believe they're losing it or one where they might believe that they're telling the truth. Mm-hmm. So I would like to meet someone in person one time and not just from that perspective.
Now, one thing that in reading the flat earth stuff, but then also some other things, is that if somebody believes something, you can't convince
change
them.
Their mind.
You can't.
We should learn that from politics. You just can't change their minds.
Hey, the Mueller report over the weekend, it was I actually saw a politician who was like, I don't believe it. And when I read that, I was
You did that because you didn't believe it.
Well, when I read it, I was like, oh, well, yeah, right. So, no matter what, if you believe something, it wouldn't matter what I showed you. If you were hardcore enough about it, you would just be like, oh, yes, this is all just part of some big cover up,
which is where
whatever.
The rich are living past Antarctica and all the good stuff's there.
Man, I told you. I hope it's true, and I want to go there. Somebody tell me how to get there.
That's your next trip.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
Today is the day that admittedly, I have been kind of watching from a distance. I've been super curious about what Disney Plus is going to be. That's the Disney subscription service. And then today, Apple's going to unveil whatever their video service is.
Yes.
And I spent some time reading about it over the weekend, and I feel like it's going to drop like a lead balloon.
Well, there's been rumors about this Apple subscription service, or will it even be a subscription service?
It doesn't sound like
There's been talk that it's not going to be, but then on the other side, they said it's all pretty family-friendly stuff. And I don't know what that means, but they always say that.
Right.
They just always want to point that out.
It sounds like that there's going to be their own content that they're generating. And it sounds to me, again, based on just the rumors that I read over the weekend, that basically they'll just be charging you for it. So hey, do you want to see family-friendly whatever,
Good
then
one.
a family-friendly product A.
Then you need to buy product A
Then for
instead
10
of like a monthly charge.
Right. For $10, you can have the whole season or whatever. And then you have apparently the other side of this is that Apple has been cutting deals with content creators to sell channels directly to you. So I saw where, again, it's all rumor, but like HBO Stars and a couple of other channels where instead of paying like a $15 a month through Apple, it'll be $10 a month.
Gotcha.
So if you have an Apple TV,
They get you less.
you've paid $1 billion to buy the Apple TV, but you're going to save money on HBO every month, which I don't have and don't want. So
We'll find out what actually happens today.
what could they announce that would get you on board, Nikki? Could anything get you to go run out and buy an Apple TV?
Well, I used to have Apple TVs,
I know.
but then I switched to Roku, and with the RadioU app, a free Roku channel. I feel
That's content you can count on day in and day out.
I have to be loyal to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They've not given me anything. They have some when I used to have
Nikki,
Apple Music.
They're trying to give you
Everything, I know.
Everything.
Like Garage. No, back when I had Apple Music, they would do like some documentaries, music, movies, sort of things, and then the artists being like in the car, sort of expanded things, and nothing was interesting to me. So I don't know. They'd have to come up with something.
Okay. My thought is this, and this sounds like grumpy old man talk to me, but it's like,
Pull on up.
I got so many shows now, I can't even keep up. Why I need new shows for?
Well, Apple has to realize, so I actually prefer a monthly charge.
Really?
Because I'll never give any new shows a try if they expect me to just pay for them.
All right. Okay, though, think about this. I would actually be way on board for this versus a monthly charge. Is like, okay, let's say Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah.
The first episode of season 3 is free. And then you drop $10 for the rest of the season. Now, see, I'm not somebody that watches a ton of TV, so that's a model that would really work for me because I'm just watching a show, a season, whatever. But for a lot of people, you'd be like, it's $1,500 a month. I can't keep up because I can't buy the season.
As long as it was more reasonable than that. But they're going to be having a lot of new content that we have no association with.
But they'll give you, they're good drug dealers. They'll give you the first hit for free. They will.
They're going to have to.
They know they got to do that.
Then every writer knows, all right, give it your A game for the first one.
The first episode's got to be really good.
Then deep down, it goes downhill every other episode.
Oh, we just can't trust, can we?
We've been burned too many times.
We've been burned too many times.
So we'll see what Apple announces for whatever their TV subscription or not subscription thing will be.
We know how it works. The first date's a trap.
I know the game.
We know how it works.
We exactly know the game that they play.
That's why the first hour of the riot is so good every morning. It's so good. Then we just slack off for the rest of it.
It's not just because we can't handle more hours.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on Radio U.
So check this out. We've got scientists where are they at? The American Chemical Society, that last week they released video showing that they have come up with something that they're calling liquid metal. And they're like, yeah, just like the Terminator. Now, I realize that for a lot of us, that's not going to mean anything. Because the last Terminator movie came out like 5 years ago, and it sucked so bad that no one went to see it.
So we've not seen this clip.
By no one, I mean me.
And a few others.
And my friend, whose ticket I bought. So glad we went. Oh, boy, it was fun. We had a great time. We had the theater all to ourselves.
You did, and it was like opening
on Saturday
day?
night of opening weekend.
Like it should have been way more crowded.
It was great. But here's the idea. They say that they have managed to put together, it's a series of magnets that are working with, what kind of metals did they have laid out in there? I can't remember, but they are literally able to use the magnets to make the metal move around. Mm-hmm. And they are saying that it would have a potentially strong use in robotics. Guys, I get that I'm the only one that watched the Terminator movie, okay? I get it. But you should watch the Terminator movie. Not because it's good, but because I need you to understand potential implications of your science.
Meaning something bad can happen from what they're developing?
Have you seen Terminator 2, Nikki?
I have not.
See? See, you're just as guilty as the scientists that are creating this weapon.
But I don't want to watch. Just tell me. Is it bad? It
turns
must be
into
bad.
A killing machine.
It
okay?
does?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you can't know for sure until it happens.
Until we try it. That's a good call, Nikki.
So
Thanks for that. That's great insight.
So because of all this, I've been reading they're like, this is like Terminator. And then they say there's a new Terminator coming out November 22nd.
Is that this year?
Yeah, this year.
No, I know that's true. They've been filming it in Mexico, and it stars, again, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton, who was in the first 2 Terminator films, but couldn't be bothered to be in 3, 4, and 5, all of which are reboots, by the way.
But now back for the next one.
So that's rebooted again. Ain't no thing.
So Terminator Dark Fate will be what's coming out.
Nikki, it should be called No Fate.
Well, we don't know yet.
No fate but what we make.
So, all right. Well, thanks for the information from the scientists.
I'm just telling you right now, if you are somebody that is enrolled in classes at a university in which you were planning to become a scientist, you're going into scientific disciplines, there are no doubt professors that are scoffing at science fiction. But here's what I want you to keep in mind. Those are artists that are looking at the science and they're seeing potential dangers that perhaps you do not see. You would do well to listen to the prophets of our time, warning us about the danger of technology.
And that was the guy who made Terminator?
Yeah. So
that was the prophet of our time?
I don't know. Maybe. Right? Like, man, when that Terminator comes out of, like, the gas explosion and it's just the skeleton, it's so scary.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
There's a rumor floating, Nikki.
Ooh, what's the rumor?
A rumor of a new Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
Actually, not just one.
Why? The other one's just fine. Still. It's fine still.
Well, okay, but you got to think about it in terms of it being like a revision. So like they had
not a new version, but like 1.2 or something.
Right. So it's like you had the 3DS, but you got the 3DS XL. You had the 3DS, but now you got the 2DS. Stuff like that.
So what are they expecting us to want?
Well, it's all a rumor according to the Wall Street Journal, but they say by the end of 2019, we would probably be looking at 2 different versions. One that would be a more expensive version of the Switch that would be targeted at people that are way into video games. So like
more storage space, or what would be the perk on it?
They say that it would be one of those things. Think PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X. So my guess would be probably larger. I mean, I don't know that.
We like larger things.
We do like
bigger
larger
screens,
things, right? So maybe larger, different dock. Like, I don't know, something else. But what if it was a 10-inch Switch? Like how the Switch now is just a little bit bigger than a phone. Mm. What if this one was like iPad
territory?
I don't know. Like, that's kind of cool. Then the other one would be a cheaper option for casual gamers. So something that...
like your phone.
Right. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's... No, that's I'm sorry.
It.
No.
I'm
sorry. No, that's not.
Okay, because, I mean, it's not like, actually, I take it back, my phone's way more than a Nintendo Switch.
Oh, sure.
But meaning like, Nintendo, let's not get away from you releasing your games as apps for us to enjoy on our phones.
Oh, Nikki, no.
That's the future.
No.
That is the future.
It's not.
It's going to be.
No, it's not. No.
No.
It's a me, Mario.
He's coming out. There's going to be
no, Nikki, no.
It's supposed to be Luigi telling me no.
Not to do that.
No, remember they're coming out with the new Mario game that'll be on our phones again. Another new one.
They're going to continue to give you dumbed down
versions.
Freemium versions of games on your phone, because what they really need to do is keep the brand alive, but then they really need you to come over and buy the Switch so you can have a premium experience.
Whatever they want.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what they're saying. Probably 2 new models announced at E3, which is about about a month and a half away.
So maybe a more expensive Switch, and then maybe a cheaper one, and then like Goldilocks, we already have the one, but we've got to have 3.
My guess is that middle one
is just right.
I'll bet they quit making it.
You think
I'll
so?
bet you that you'll either have to buy the new souped up one or the cheaper one. That's Obadiah speculation. Because, when you put 3 of them out, I feel like there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace.
Yes, I think that's the problem with it.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the riot Obviously. Radio U.
I don't know what's going on in your life right now, but I want you to know it could be better, but it could also be worse. Okay? So your neighbor's got a fence that's a little too high.
So what do you do?
And you know what? The Homeowners Association says they're not allowed to do that.
Actually, well, in this particular case, a neighbor told on the guy that his fence was too high, and so the association came back to him and said, hey, you need to lower. You
have to lower the fence.
So he cut the fence and made it lower, and he was very unhappy about it.
And so he decided that he wanted to go ahead and let people know just how unhappy he was. So he made a naked mannequin garden party.
Of course he did.
I'll tell you.
Isn't that how everybody responds when someone comes up at you?
I just love the idea of this guy literally did sit down and go, you know what? I got to figure out what's the worst thing I can do here. I want to do something that is going to be so objectionable that they are going to wish they had never asked that my fence be lowered. So what can we do?
They wanted to make a point of like, okay, now the fence is lower, so here you can see into this guy's yard. So he took mannequins and staged them sitting there and then left a seat empty with the sign open saying that this was for the special person that told on him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been instigating.
Well, his... he's gone viral. Everybody's looking at it. And someone, we don't know who, has stolen 2 of the mannequins.
Oh, and perhaps another neighbor.
Could be. And somebody that was just like, they need a home. And I'm going to take them home with me.
No, it's probably someone mad that he's doing that.
Maybe. Well, see, my thing is if you were mad, wouldn't you steal them all?
No, he's making a point.
I feel like stealing 2 of them, there's something about that makes me more nervous.
Was it the 2 lady mannequins?
I drove past her every day, and somebody
she looked at me.
She looked at me, and I looked at her, and it was magical.
And her friend wanted to come.
She said that she would come with me, but I couldn't leave her other friend. And
you know who I feel so bad for? It's always like just the normal neighbor next door.
Didn't complain.
Like, doesn't have any problems with anybody, always stays quiet, and has to deal with now everybody being mad at your neighbor and the mannequin party.
I don't know how I would react if one of my neighbors did this. I feel like part of me would just be like, you know what? Don't give him any attention. He's asking for attention. We're just going to act like it's fine. And in fact, if he asks, we'll just say, hey, you know what? That's some very interesting art. Like, could you help me understand its meaning?
Yeah, you just wonder how long will he go? And how far will he go with it in order to make them regret asking them to cut the fence down?
My guess is, taking a look at this guy, he's in this for the long haul.
He is. He looks dedicated, doesn't he? He looks just mad enough.
You done did it. You made it.
You poked the bear.
You did. And the other thing about this here is that he went ahead and he has bought 2 replacement mannequins that are on their way.
He could keep going with this forever.
So if you were concerned that the naked mannequin party was going to, end, don't worry.
He's coming back.
He's got it covered.
Plenty of friends are coming. He's invited more.
No problem.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So you're living with your parents and you need a job. And you already are like, I'm tuning out. I don't want to hear it. My mom's saying it. Now the guy on the radio saying it. What the heck?
Now listen, just walk with us, okay?
And listen, hold my hand.
This is a space of no judgment. It's a safe space for you.
No, and we're going to show your mom. All right.
That you're trying?
She's like, what are you doing? You're always in the basement watching those stupid movies. Get a job. Well, guess what? We're going to help you get a job watching those movies.
What do you get to do?
Well, I've had a few people send this to me, and
it always feels like it's a trap or it's not real.
Here's the deal.
It's an urban legend.
CableTV.com.
It also sounds not real.
No, it's real.
It's real? Okay.
Yeah. They want to hire someone to do a Marvel movie marathon in which they will watch all 40 hours of Marvel movies.
In order?
Mm-hmm. And then you go see Avengers Endgame and you make it a big social media splash.
Sure.
You tweet about it, and you're constantly tweeting with the hashtag CableTV or @CableTV.
I've actually seen a lot of people do this, like they're currently doing it.
Yeah, but Mom, I could get paid for it.
How much are you getting paid for it?
$1,000?
That's not enough.
It's not?
No, you need an actual job like this is work, but you need a job.
Something. Oh man, like your mom's like made $1,000. And you're going to get a 1099 for that. So you better save some of it back.
It's over the amount. So you're going to have to do your taxes with it.
And then your mom's going to be like, okay, and your insurance, take a little, and you're this, and you're that. And pretty soon you're like, this is why I can't get ahead.
Because you don't get any money from that. It doesn't mean you can't watch all of the Marvel movies just on your own time, but you got to get a job still. And I don't think this one qualifies.
I think that you, Nikki, are
part of the problem?
Yes, I do. You're being a big naysayer, and I don't appreciate it. So $1,000, plus you're going to get all 3 Marvel Cinematic Universe Blu-ray box sets, plus Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ooh.
Boom! Okay?
Ooh.
But that's not all.
On Netflix.
That's not all. Captain America Popcorn Popper, Orville Redenbacher Popcorn Kernels.
You know what this sounds like? For when you have your own place.
Thanos Infinity Gauntlet mug.
Really?
Iron Man Snuggie, a $100 Grubhub gift card, and more Marvel gear than you can shake a giant green fist at. Those are their words, not mine.
Maybe if you did this job and then sold all the items that you got, then we might be talking.
Okay, so here's what they want to do. You got to, I've got it here. You can fill it all out if you want to be a part of this. So the only problem where I see that a lot of us are not going to qualify is I'll bet most of us don't have enough followers on our quote unquote strongest social media platform in order to
qualify for it.
Probably not. Like they're probably
unless you haven't had a job to hinder you from getting a lot of followers. That takes work.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Like, are you the kind of person that's like, I just got out of bed this way, but you spent 2 hours getting ready to get out of bed? This is for you. So,
all right. So it's cabletv.com.
Mm-hmm.
They're hiring someone to watch all the Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 plus a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. So
get a lot of Marvel stuff.
More Marvel stuff than you can shake a stick at, and that's a direct
quote from them.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. Than you can shake a green foam fist at.
So that's a possible job opening.
I love that Mike just texted and said he wants the link. You know what? I just texted it back to him.
Oh, people get paid for that?
Go right ahead.
It's a dream job.
Having a bad day? Blame the riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. RadioU.
All right, Nikki, what are you doing later today?
Well, we have a RadioU birthday lunch.
Okay.
We got that. It was our station's birthday on Friday.
What are you doing after lunch?
I don't think I have any plans.
You, me, Ben Affleck as Daredevil. Our afternoon is booked.
Why do we have to watch Daredevil?
Well, I was just thinking, like, do you remember Daredevil? Because, like, I know I saw it at some point, and everybody's like, it's the worst. I'll bet it's not the worst.
It's not because they were married either, but I also confused that with what was Jennifer Garner's one? Was she
Electra?
Yeah, like
everyone
which one
hates
was
that one?
Yeah, but which one was which?
One.
Well, I know, like, I just can't recall
I don't
in my
know how
mind.
I don't know how to do this.
I feel like
without
they were the
just
one.
being weirdly condescending, and I don't want to.
I know you don't want to be that way, but in my mind, I can't recall like.
Well, you had Daredevil and Electra. And so at the end, spoilers.
But I can't remember the storyline to Daredevil. I only can remember the storyline to Electra.
Daredevil, like Bullseye's in it, and then like Bullseye shoots her. And he's like, oh, I'm mad. And then he goes and fights Wilson Fisk.
Let me sit down and get comfortable. I want to hear this retelling.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of water, and he fights Wilson Fisk, and that's all.
Okay.
There it is. That's
the movie?
That's the movie.
I must have seen it.
Electra's like, I'm dead.
And
I'm back.
She was fighting in the garden. That's something that I recall.
She was fighting General Zod, but he was old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
All right, that was the retelling of two movies.
One time.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember about it is that Electra gets trained by Stick, who is played by Terrence Stamp, who did play General Zod in Superman and Superman 2.
So for Daredevil, then that became the Daredevil Netflix show.
Well, no, it didn't.
Meaning, like, there was a Daredevil.
There was a Daredevil Netflix show, but 15 years earlier, there was this movie with Ben Affleck, which everyone seems to hate.
Yeah. Well, I think anything with Ben Affleck is people just don't like.
You know what, Nikki?
He
even
has a
though
hard time.
He seems to have a lot of personal problems.
Sure.
He does seem to be fairly professional when it comes to his job. I identify with that.
Gotcha.
And I think he...
Are they going to remake it, or...?
No, it's just on sale today, and I'm thinking,
you want to watch it.
You know what? I'll buy it, and then you come over, and we'll use our Captain America popcorn popper and have our own little Marvel marathon.
I feel like I'm really back on movies that I have a lot to catch up on. I don't think I should go to old movies and watch. I think I need to find more current ones.
I know, Nikki, but this is going to help you.
And I don't need to start there.
This is going to help you appreciate the current ones.
No, stop looking at this movie sale site.
Why?
Stop looking at it.
Why? If
it's on sale and it's a movie, it's old. It's not going to be one you want.
You know what? That's not necessarily true, Nikki. Let's go ahead and see if we can find you a new one.
And I bet you have Daredevil somewhere already in your collection.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's your ceiling? Like, how high are you willing to pay? What do you think?
A rental or a purchase?
A purchase.
Purchase, I don't feel more than $9 today.
Okay, what about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Nope, stop.
Danny DeVito.
Oh, no.
Twins.
No. No, thank you.
Okay, what about Ron Howard, American Graffiti?
No.
That's actually a great movie.
Is it a good movie?
It actually is a really, really good movie.
I don't need to watch a movie today.
Well, you know, you're right. The one thing all these movies have in common is they're really, really old.
That's why they're on sale.
Legally Blonde.
That's on Netflix.
Oh, it is?
Because I might have watched it the other weekend. That's an old movie I can get behind.
Let's go ahead and quit while we're ahead. Get Out. Jordan Peele, you know, he just directed Us over the weekend. This will be his first foray, and then you could be ready for his second foray. Does anybody even know what a foray is?
A 4A?
It's F-O-R-A-Y, not 4A.
Turn it up loud enough and your neighbors will call the cops. Because it's obviously a cry for help. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Sometimes there's a story in the news that I will see that it just feels like a cautionary tale. Like when I read it, it strikes something inside me that scares me a little bit. And at the same time, well, I mean, it does. It just scares me because it's like, man, I feel like this is something that could happen to me. So let me go ahead and read you this account from Nick. He's 35. He lives in Massachusetts. And he says, they surrounded the house and knocked on the door with flashlights coming through all the windows. They told me to come outside, then handcuffed me. So what exactly was it?
Was he getting swatted or?
That Nick did? No, he wasn't getting swatted. You see, Nick ordered a 74-inch TV from Amazon.
Did they? That's just how they get delivered.
Okay, and then when they delivered, the shipping company that brought him the TV brought him a 74-inch TV and an 86-inch TV. So on delivery day, they delivered 2 TVs. And he was just like, well woo! Bring them on in.
I get to keep it.
Nope,
even though
no
that
big
seems
deal.
like a delivery mistake.
And so it was a delivery mistake.
Too good to be true.
And he says, like, look, I didn't steal this. You brought it here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you didn't pay for it. But is he trying to fight it or?
Well, he says, now here's where we get into words like allegations, is that he says that they did deliver both TVs, that no one ever called and asked about it, that no one ever tried to retrieve the second TV. The first he heard of there being an issue was the police showing up. Amazon and the shipping company are like, we done called him. We done said you got to give it back. We did all this.
And then they had to call the police. I'm going to probably lean towards the side of Amazon. They're not going to lie about that.
Oh, yeah, Nikki, because big companies don't lie ever, do they?
No, not like
you can
that.
always trust a big company to do the right thing.
Compared to trusting the man who's trying to keep the TV that's not his.
The man who was at home and someone came to the door and was like, here, I brought you TVs. And he was like, and the Lord did grin.
He multiplied the loaves of TVs.
Look at that. There were TVs left over.
That is not how it happens. I know we all pray for that miracle, but that is not how that is happening.
Well, I'll just tell you right now, that's why this news story scares me, because I see myself as the kind of person that would buy a 74-inch TV and would get pretty dang excited when the 86-inch one showed up.
Yeah. I would have just been like, here, you take the smaller one back and I'll keep this one.
That's what you should have done. Be like, oh, no, I ordered this one, not this one.
No, the other one's right. And then maybe you wouldn't have gotten caught. caught.
Because then at least it would have just been a TV that was dropped off,
If
not multiple TVs.
That's the time you get out of there. You just move. You're like, how fast can I leave before they notice?
So he said that apparently at some point he did reach out to Amazon and they were like, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. It's fine. And now they're like, no. And so he's being charged with false pretense. The police are saying he's a liar by false pretense and misleading a police officer. So, okay. This is the part I didn't see. The shipping company claims he signed for the delivery and he claimed to be someone he wasn't.
Well, then there's another layer. This is an onion. This is an onion, and it's starting to stink, isn't it?
He says if he believed he was going to have been arrested, he would have just paid for the second TV or returned it.
But now they're talking about maybe arresting him?
He's been arrested.
Oh, he's been arrested.
He's facing two charges. False pretense and something else.
Don't let it go too far. Then next time you'll be like, wait, can I just go back? Can I just pay? You don't want to get caught like that.
You know what? How much? Let's see. How much for an 86-inch TV? Because we could really use one.
$1,200, $1,400.
I got $2,500, $2,100.
That's those prices. You're not paying that.
You think that's too much?
I think that's too much.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is we need to go to Costco, buy one, then return it, and then when they put it on the open box thing, then buy that one.
Oh my gosh, that should totally be our scam. I go in and I buy the TV. I'm the one who does that.
Hallelujah!
Oh my
Come
gosh!
on.
And then
We
I
just
go return
fixed
it, and then I'll let you know when I return it, and then that way you will learn the turnaround of like how much until it gets into the open box or no box section.
Man, and we only need to do it twice. 3 times.
We can't get too greedy, then they'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay. All right, Nikki, I love this, and I'm glad that we talked about it privately without letting everyone else know what our scheme
plan.
is.
But
Good
to the
call.
man who's been arrested, that's what happens.
Tell you what, they came for my TV, and I said nothing, and then they came for me.
If you're looking for a peaceful start to your morning, you should look somewhere else. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Okay. How weird would it be if I showed up at your high school to learn?
To learn?
Yes.
Well, no, but are you talking like you're already out of high school, though?
I have graduated high school. I did successfully complete the course of study and receive my high school diploma.
Then I don't think you're supposed to go back.
I was the salutatorian.
Ooh.
Because I got a B in freshman English, I couldn't beat that 4.0 student in front of me.
So you were
don't get me
not able to?
Don't get me started on weighted classes. That's the biggest scam in the universe. I had a 4.87. It's a 4-point scale. 4 is the top. You're not taking advanced math if you can't understand that.
Hey, still bother you? It
doesn't bother me.
bothers you.
I feel great.
Okay, so what about going back to high school?
Well, Bullitt Central High School, which, Bullitt.
Oh, my God.
It's spelled.
What's wrong with you? Just tell the details.
It's spelled just like the Steve McQueen movie, Nikki.
Is it?
It is.
The car movie?
Mm-hmm. Bullitt Central High School in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Yes, Shepherds.
Stop. It's hard to follow the details when you keep adding
Would
stuff.
you please
Just
pay
tell me the
attention
details.
to your own talking?
Please.
You're not even paying attention to yourself.
Please. You're still not.
Okay. So they hosted at Bullitt Central High School in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. They hosted Adulting Day, in which they had high school students learning, quote unquote, real life skills. So they were taught basic car maintenance, how to cook in a dorm room, which if you got a hot plate in there, that's illegal.
Hey.
Oh, again?
Hey, stop.
Okay. How to responsibly use credit cards. Mm-hmm. And also the police came by to teach you what to do if you're pulled over.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it
Some
sounds
people don't
dumb,
know.
but like that makes sense.
It's not just what do you do when you get pulled over, but what do you need when you get pulled over? Like you have to provide certain things to show to the police officer. Don't be surprised when he asks for that stuff.
Oh, and look, people from the Army came to discuss potential careers in the military. There it is. And they're just trying to shove you into the military.
So wait, I'm sorry. It's not like you could go back to school like if you didn't learn any of that stuff, but you're just saying.
What I'm telling you is that I am a quote-unquote adult that would like to attend adult adulting day so that I could learn how to be an adult.
We've commented before. There's lots of things in school you'll learn that you don't need to learn. There's lots of stuff that you needed to learn in school that you did not. They didn't teach you.
I mean, okay.
Basic stuff.
Here's the thing. Like, a lot of people say that, and Nikki's right. What we need to do is add the basics back in with the advanced stuff, and I'll tell you why. We need to present trigonometry to the entire population, basically so those that are gifted in that can emerge, all right? So what if you're not going to use trig? Somebody else in that room is going to use it, and they're going to help Nikki die in space, okay? When the time comes, they're going to realize the dream.
Yes.
But we all need to, even the space trig person, learn how to balance the checkbook.
Right.
And or how, when you get pulled
Don't
over,
get in debt.
to hide the weed. I mean, to...
What is your issue today? What is your issue today? He just can't stop. Now he's gone. Now he's gone. That's what we're learning today.
See? And if I had attended an adulting class, I would know that this is inappropriate workplace humor.
He just can't help himself.
And yet, here we are.
So adulting day at the school, right, Obi? Right.
Yeah, that's right. At Bullitt High School.
In Kentucky.
In Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
Great for them.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
And now a serious look.
It's even worse. A serious look at what?
Well, you know, Shazam is coming out, Nikki. It's about a child in a man's body. Does that sound like we can identify a little bit? Right?
Yes.
It does. Okay.
Because that's you.
It kind of is.
So Shazam comes out not this Friday, but next Friday.
Next weekend.
And is it the Zachary guy?
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, okay.
That many
the guy
people
who was
know
in
from Chuck.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, no, I hear lots of great things about him. And I'll tell you what else. We're hearing lots of good things about Shazam. Seriously, reviews are very good.
I feel like this is so early to get reviews that normally they hide them closer to when it doesn't have good reviews. So it must mean something that they're willing to talk about it.
I feel like DC Comics is often like, yeah, and we're having a press screening the day after the movie comes out.
Because they don't want you to hear bad reviews, and they don't want that to change your opinion and not go to the movies.
Don't tell anybody what you saw in here, okay?
You're not allowed to.
You're not allowed. You signed the paper. So I just going through apparently reviews. I don't know if they went live Saturday or yesterday, but I read through a few, and everybody seems to agree that 1, it's really funny. 2, it's very fun. 3, it's a lot darker than you think it will be.
Based on the trailer.
And they say it's very emotional, that because you're dealing with a lot of emotional things, I guess.
So I'm sorry, is the character, is he a genie or is he...
Well, it works like this. Keeping in mind that I don't really know the story super well, but as I understand it, there's basically like someone who is chosen to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada or something.
When you speak it, it's hard.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so then when somebody comes along, like that person dies, so someone new is chosen. And in this particular case, Billy... I don't remember his last name, but the kid, not Billy the kid, but the boy, you guys, it's not working out. Dang it!
All the times.
Dang it! So he gets chosen by this guy to wield these powers, and he transforms from, a like 12, 13-year-old, I don't know how old he's supposed to be, into like a fully grown, superpowered adult, Superman-like character.
Okay.
Billy, I can't remember his last name. I can't want to say Billy Corgan. He's not Smashing Pumpkins.
I was going to say, that's not it. This is all the Billies that you know.
Billy Batson.
Billy Batson?
I don't know a lot of Billies, okay? I'm sorry.
So they say it's good, though.
People are saying that it is very good. So I've been kind of on the fence about it. It's funny to me because most of the superhero movies that come out contain a superhero I care about. This is a superhero I care nothing about. Zero. But there could be some real fun there.
Maybe that's the best. They didn't have the same rules as some of the other superhero movies.
They can do whatever they want, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's how it works.
You might like it.
Yeah, I might. Or I might hate it.
Well,
probably not.
Roll the dice. It's fine.
Well, sign up for Stubbs A-List, and you quit caring.
Now you have all those movies that you have to fill the space with.
That's right.
So you might as well go see it.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki.
Yeah.
Earlier this morning, you and I were discussing a man.
Yeah.
A man in California.
Yeah.
A man in California who felt like he was being treated wrongly by the people around him. You see, his fence was too tall, and people got really upset about the tall fence.
Someone told on him, so he had to lower his fence to the appropriate amount stated for, that area in that neighborhood.
So we saw his answer to lowering his fence, and that was a naked mannequin garden party.
He set up mannequins in his yard, and because the fence was low enough, you could see all the mannequins, and then he just made like a display, and we'll leave it at that. It's just a display, but unfortunately, no, they're not people.
There we go.
I don't know if it was actually two
people whose souls were stolen and converted into mannequins.
The mannequins were stolen, and that's an update to that story, and he says, no big deal. He's got more ordered, and they're coming back.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Nikki, I am now looking at, he says he's buying more mannequins, and it got me to wondering, what do you pay for a mannequin?
Like a full mannequin?
What does a mannequin cost?
Well, I bet there's been enough store closings where they would have mannequins that you could probably get one for pretty cheap.
You just go get one?
Like on Craigslist or something?
Okay, what do you think a mannequin?
Are we talking Amazon or eBay?
All right, I'm on Amazon right now, but I want you to know that I'm immediately headed to Craigslist now.
To see if there's any in our area.
Mannequin.
A full mannequin?
Oh, nightmare.
Don't look at that. Don't do that, maybe. Might be better not to. Is it a couple $100s?
No. I can get you, Nikki, I can put a mannequin in your window today.
In my yard.
For $49.99.
Well, no wonder he's buying more. That won't stop him. A full mannequin? Are you sure? Is it free shipping?
It is free shipping.
Is it from Amazon
it's Prime.
or from...
Okay, it's Prime. It's sponsored. It's a Yahitech
mannequin.
Mm-hmm, that's right. I mean, okay, I say this looks like the mannequins he has, but I mean, let's be honest. Mannequins pretty much look the same.
They all do.
Yeah, but I just sent it to you, Nikki. $49.99 Prime. Let's take a look at some customer reviews.
No, I don't want to touch it because then it's going to mess up my Amazon suggestions list.
Oh my gosh, dude. Some of these hilarious.
$49.
This one guy took some really weird pictures of them. But like they're a ghost or something, like they're hiding and staring out of stuff. That's funny.
We don't want to get into this world.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Nikki, how about this?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm looking on Craigslist, right? Oh, boy. Here's a $50 mannequin on Craigslist. You could go pick it up today. Here's one that is nightmare fuel.
I think you could.
In Mansfield.
I think you could. I think you could lower the price. You could barter.
And then here's another. Oh, yep.
Don't look at it. Then close out. It can't be good.
I don't understand.
That's all you need to say.
I
don't want to hear anymore.
I don't understand what
What's
this
going
is.
on?
Yeah.
All right.
This one will wave at you, though. It will.
Okay.
It'll wave at you.
So that's an update on the update. In case you're like, how can this man afford to protest in such a way?
$49.99 free shipping.
He's angry enough.
We can all afford mannequins for our lawns.
We could all do that in a way of protest.
And you could get this one that waves.
How does it wave?
I don't want to know. Okay.
You got a battery or what happens?
I don't know.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Kyle hit me up on Facebook with something that could be transformative to us as people.
What did he send?
Apparently, okay, Nikki, you're familiar with Chik-Fil-A.
I am.
It is a nationwide chicken restaurant.
Love the little breakfast chicken biscuit thingies.
Oh,
we
that
love
honey.
those. Oh, the honey biscuits.
Oh, gosh.
The little hash browns on the side.
Yeah.
Little Diet Coke in the morning.
So here's the thing they have going for them as well that not everybody talks about. And I don't mean the cookies, because we already know about the cookies. I'm talking about Chick-fil-A sauce.
I've never had the Chick-fil-A sauce.
I don't know what it is, and I don't want to know what it is. Don't tell me what they have mixed up. Don't tell me whatever. It's heaven, and I want to go there.
Okay.
Okay. Now, that being said, apparently Kyle has found that at Walmart, they have generic Chick-fil-A sauce.
What do they call it?
Chicken dipping sauce.
Ooh,
and
scandal.
Okay, look, it couldn't be any more transparent because at the top of the label, they have waffle fries.
Yeah.
And then there's a soda, and then below it, and this is stuff that's all like it's on a red thing. It looks like Chick-fil-A. And then you've got little nuggets being dipped in the dipping sauce.
So apparently for like a chicken dipping sauce, is it like mayonnaise and ketchup and Worcestershire sauce?
I don't know, and I don't want to know because I don't like mayo and I don't like Worcestershire sauce. And I don't, whatever the heck it is that they're putting together to make it work, I don't want to know.
Actually, that's Zaxby's, which is also like a chicken place in different parts of the country. So there is, I see plenty of like, if you like the Chick-fil-A one, it's a copycat one.
See, I've never gone down that road because I'm a believer in real things.
No, this is why you like it so much. They say it's mayo, barbecue sauce, which a lot of people use Sweet Baby Ray's.
Come on, baby.
Honey, and then mustard and Dijon mustard.
Come on.
So that's why you like it. You like most of that stuff.
I do.
So no wonder.
First off, Sweet Baby Ray's. That's the best barbecue.
Have you tried their honey mustard?
They have honey mustard?
They have honey mustard. It's really good.
Come here. I want to smack you. Stop saying things like that. I told you not to lie.
I'm not lying. It's Sweet Babies.
I need to try that.
It's really, I forget if I found it at Costco because Costco sells the barbecue sauce in like a 24-pack. It's a lot. It's a 2-pack.
I already know.
I know, but I can't recall. I think I might have just got that at the store because it was a normal size.
You know what? You guys want to know something? And this is true. I already know that you can buy honey mustard and different sauces. Now, the chicken dipping sauce is new to me, but this exists in the exact same category that Doritos exist in.
Can't have it every day.
That grenadine exists in. They're what I call problem foods. Okay? And as a result, you can have them.
Not power foods, but problem foods.
You can have them once or twice a year because, as I've said, or maybe you haven't heard, the sound of a bag of Doritos opening is the sound of me finding the bottom of the bag.
Good Lord, what if you dipped the Dorito in the dipping chicken sauce?
I'm going to smack you again. Stop it. Stop it. I can't.
Danny wants to instigate by saying cane sauce is better. So
cane sauce is trash.
If you want to do that.
Cane sauce is trash.
We can do that. And then Laura says, oh my gosh, yes, Chick-fil-A has the best honey mustard.
What? Man, Krista says, is this Krista? Am I clicking the right thing? She says at Walmart she saw beef jerky by Sweet Baby Ray's.
Why don't we all go grocery shopping together, guys? We could do like a Riot meetup, and that way we're not missing out on these things.
Yeah.
Or we could have a Facebook group where we could just post like, hey, I
bought
saw
this at this.
Yeah, and everything that you think us Riot people would like.
Well, it sounds like we need to go to Walmart because I want some of that Sweet Baby Ray's beef jerky, and I also have got to find this dipping sauce.
Got to have all of that.
You know what we need? We've got to have a taste test because we got this honey ketchup over here.
Someone sent us this.
And we get that genetic. I'll tell you what, guys, we're really putting something together here.
Do you feel it building?
There's some magic.
You feel the power?
It's on the verge of happening.
Oh, God.
Big time.
What'd you guys do today? Well, talked about sauces.
Is there something better to be talking about?
Not really.
Friends by Friends Coke Freestyle Machines. We're all friends, right? It's the Riot on Radio U.
I'm proud of you guys.
Let's talk about sauces and stuff.
I'm proud of you guys. I am. Come on. You guys are the best. So here's what we're talking. Sauces. Because Kyle found something called chicken dipping sauce. He says that it is generic Chick-fil-A sauce.
You buy it at the store.
Yeah, but you buy it, in this particular case, at Walmart. Their in-house brand is called Great Value. That's great. That way you know right off the bat. Like, you know what? Is it a good value? No. It's a great value.
Great value must be better.
Okay, so Eric texted in. He's from Oklahoma City. He says, does anyone have a PDQ nearby?
We don't. It's in Edmond, but then there's, I think it's in Texas, South Carolina, New York, North Carolina, like just random.
Road trip.
A lot of Florida locations.
Road
trip to that. It looks pretty good.
Okay.
But I've never heard of a PDQ.
All right. So he says it's a chicken chain. They make the chicken fresh to order and the sauce is in-house. What?
Every chicken place says that.
Yeah, they do. But it's really
everyone.
It's really been soaking in MSG for a day to tenderize it.
Unofficially, but yes.
But technically, Nikki, if they...
It's fresh to me.
If they cook it fresh, that doesn't mean it hasn't been frozen or whatever.
I mean, again, it's the game. The chicken game.
There isn't anywhere you're going to go that you're going to see your headless chicken running around the parking lot.
You hear... And then you just have your chicken suddenly. It's not made that way.
It's not going to work that way. So let's see. Again, thanks to Krista. She was the one that saw beef jerky at Sweet Baby Ray's. Thanks to Jeff and a high five. He says Cane's is trash. Amen. Now, I want to be real careful here. Raising Cane's
delicate here.
Is not trash. Their chicken is fantastic. I think their fries are good. And man, come on. Texas toast? High five. All right?
Better than real toast.
But it's their sauce that's bad. The Cane's sauce is bad. Now, the Cane's honey mustard is spectacular.
Also,
they should be bragging about
They kind of get weird with their sauce stuff, like if you can have them. If you have to pay for them. Yeah, they just kind of get weird with it.
Well, it is funny. The first time we ever went there, we had been going to a place called Shane's because apparently all chicken places must end with an ain. And so they will give you a free sauce.
All the sauce you want.
But Cane's would charge you 29 cents for an extra sauce. Now, Cane's is still in business and Shane's shut down. I don't know what it means.
We're not saying what it means.
I don't know what it means. I'm just reporting on the facts.
All right, well, Jeff, so we like the chicken there, but we understand about the sauce.
Laura says Chick-Fil-A has the best honey mustard. I will say I think Cane's might be my favorite. Another place, they're a chain of restaurants called... Wait on it. J. Alexander's. I think they rebranded as like the Red Something Grill or whatever. They have, I love going into these fancy steakhouses and ordering chicken fingers.
That's not a drive-through place. That's a restaurant.
You got to sit down and eat their honey mustard. It always makes me sick, but it's worth it every time.
Why does it make you sick?
It's so rich. I feel like, I don't know what it is.
Your body can't handle it?
No, it can't. It rejects it, but it's so good.
It's so great. I know I'm going to get sick, but I don't care.
That's what you just said. I'm just like, you know what?
Doesn't matter.
Slay the fatted chicken and bring me another dipping thing, because if we're going to do this, we're going all in.
Well, I feel like we could talk about chicken and sauces forever, but alas, we can't.
Well, we can. We just choose not to.
Jen says, Cane's sauce is bad. I refuse to listen to a station that spouts as heresy. LOL. It's
That's
not that
fine,
it's
Jen.
bad.
Just get out. Just get out.
It's not that it's bad. It's just the chicken's so good, but we're just not as crazy about the sauce selection there.
No, the Cane's honey mustard is good. It's the Cane sauce is bad. And you know what, Jen? Go on out. We'll just see you later.
We don't need you here. We do want you here. We love it.
Rachel says the only thing trash about Raising Cane's is their honey mustard. You get out, too. You and Jen, just get out.
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
Listen, have you taken the time to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward this morning? By foot, I mean face, and by face, I mean selfie. Like, what's your Insta game this morning?
You got something good?
Have you put some work into it?
Are you saving something from the weekend and you're ready to push it out?
Did you prep for it? Because a lot of people, they got out of bed and they didn't get out of bed. Like, their hand reached out of the blanket if they actually put their phone on their bedside instead of clutching it to their heart. But there are people right now that are just waking up, and you need to show them the best version of yourself. That's what you should be doing right now. That's where your focus should be. Can I create an illusion of amazingness to present to people? It doesn't matter that a ton of things in your world are falling apart right now. It just matters that
the picture looks good.
Dude, you know what you got to do? You got to put on a strong face. You got to front a little bit. Fake it till you make it.
Strong showing.
Here's what I love. A lot of people are super interested in that fake best you, but the one person I know that is absolutely interested in the broken, messed up, like whatever thing you're trying to hide from everybody is God. God loves you for who you are. So whether you rolled out of bed and took the perfect hashtag selfie, or whether you rolled out of bed and you were like, I'm going to punch this wall.
You couldn't even take a picture.
Or you're right now still in bed and you're going to hear this in the podcast.
Because don't tell them what time to get up.
Because you can't even, okay?
That might be a lot of people.
That's fine. It's fine. I want you to know God's interested in who you are, not the illusion that you try to sell to people, okay? So whatever you got going on today, good, bad, not ugly, of course, rough, difficult, I want you to know you've got a friend that cares about the real you. And if you haven't started that friendship with God, you should. Man, you know what? Put your phone down and take a couple of minutes and talk to God. Start a relationship by saying, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. And I want to have a relationship with you. Show me something else. And dude, I love that, man. God has got stuff that he wants to talk to you about today. What's on his agenda today?
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
I told you that we were going to talk about the best high school play ever and the worst real estate.
Yeah, you want to make sure we get to both of them at maybe right now.
Yeah, here I'm going to give it to you. First one, it's called Snake Island, and that's what they call it. It's an island in Brazil where it is literally illegal for you to go out there.
Yeah, I've seen it on documentaries.
Well, apparently 60 Minutes went there.
They're always like at travel shows and like, here's this lovely area, but don't go there.
Do not go in there.
Were they allowed to? Or?
60 Minutes was allowed to with some very, very specific
Is it really
guidelines.
Covered with snakes? Do I have to watch 60 Minutes?
They say over 4,000 species of snakes in one location.
All right.
I say,
no
get
way.
me the heck out of here, right? Okay, so onto this play, right? A high school, North Bergen High School, which I am now realizing I should have looked up where that is. North Bergen High School, they did Alien as their school play.
How did that get passed? Like, don't you have to get approval as to which play you do?
It's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, not to be like whatever about it, but I mean, in reality, Alien's kind of rated R probably for how gross it is.
Yeah, and
so,
you're not having that in the play.
Yeah, you take the language and the grossness out of it and the premise, it's not
I guess
so bad.
I was never in theater, so I don't know. To me, I always assumed the school purchased the play.
Well, that's interesting, and that becomes the question, is how did they do this? Did they buy the rights from 20th Century Fox?
Do they even sell the rights to Alien as a play?
My guess is going to be no, and I would say they probably adapted the screenplay on some level. And again, remember, I'm just speculating. I know very little about it, actually. But I think they could probably get away with that. Where it becomes a licensing thing is when schools do musicals.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something right now. If you want to see a group of people that will get paid, it's songwriters. They will get paid.
Even if it's your school doing a performance of the song that they have.
That's exactly right. And so that's a whole other thing. That's one of the ways they make money as a songwriter is like if a song gets picked up as a musical thing, like that gets licensed and sent out, all of that kind of stuff. So this Alien contains no musical numbers.
As far as we know. Maybe they adapted it.
Maybe they did.
You don't know if they didn't sing in it.
Maybe they did.
What a weird choice.
It's fascinating.
Feels like someone's dad chose that, too. They're like, I'll do Alien.
Maybe not.
Feels very odd.
You know, Nikki, Alien is about to celebrate its 40th anniversary with a 4K Blu-ray releasing on April 23rd.
Yes.
Which is actually 423. And a lot of people feel like, you know, I don't know if you know this, but 426 is LV 426 Day. So that's Alien Day every year.
Sure. No, we're following right along with you.
No, May the 4th be with you.
There's an Alien Day, too.
Oh, man. Well, anyway, I want to be a part of that school play. Awesome.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Come here, I want to smack you.